Oh, you didn't know? Welcome back to another episode of LTS Wrestling Podcast. It's that NICC, and we're doing a short today. Jojo, Jasper, what's going on, fellas?
Hey, let's get it.
What's up, fellas? What's up? Welcome back,
Hey,
Cuzzo.
hey, thank you
Welcome
guys.
back.
What's up, fam? Let's get it.
Yeah, so we're here all together right now. To kind of review a little bit on like the most recent news regarding the WWE releases, which just happened yesterday. So we got a list of names here. I'll just go ahead and read them all out. On the main roster, we have Dakota Kai, Braun Strowman, Shayna Baszler, Kaden Carter, Katana Chance. On the NXT roster, Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan, Eddie Thorpe, Jakara Jackson, Riley Osborne, Oro Mensa, Javier Bernal, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang, also known as Gallus, Danny Palmer, and as of this morning, we heard Shotzi Blackheart's contract was not renewed. So we got a long list of talent here. It's very unfortunate. Clearly the circumstances are, no different like any other business. There are going to be cuts, and clearly a lot of times too, we understand it is clearly a business decision whether or not we were, in line with what decision was made here. But yeah, it is unfortunate. At the same time, we understand that WWE has been such a hot product. Clearly, up and down the roster, it's very deep. It's pretty stacked. And we also have to remind ourselves too, like there are times where things like this happen only to make more room for newly acquisitions, right? So, down the road, I'm assuming that there's several talent, specifically free agents out there or impending free agents from other companies that are primarily are on the list of or are on the WWE's radar for that matter. So kind of wanted you guys' thoughts real quick. Any names to you guys that jumped out much of a surprise as opposed to, you kind of expected it?
Dakota Kai, that one kind of caught me by surprise.
Okay.
I know she hasn't really been on TV recently, and I know they've been struggling to really kind of find a storyline for her and everything, but she is still with Damage Control. And I know Damage Control is kind of like they're all over the place right now, especially because of the injuries and
Uh-huh.
excuse me. Um, so really, it was only Io Sky and Dakota. Um, I'm kind of sad they let Dakota Kai go, but I hope for the best for her. I can I can probably see her going to TNA or New Japan. I don't
Uh-huh.
think AEW would be the place for her to go. I mean, I could be wrong, but
Uh-huh.
um, best wishes to her. Braun Strowman, my man,
Yeah.
this guy cannot catch a break, dude. Um, he got let go again, and while I'm sad to see him go, I'm not as sad this time around as I was the first time. He did put on a good program with Jacob, though. He did his job. Like you're
Uh-huh.
saying, Jasper, bro, he did his job, bro. He put Jacob over. He made him look really good. And
Right.
yeah, I'm kind of sad that Braun just couldn't catch his stride this time. I really was rooting for him. Um, but yeah, he couldn't catch his stride. Shayna Baszler, yeah, they didn't know what to do with her. I'll be honest. She has the in ring skills. It's just she's about as interesting as watching a potato grow. It's just yeah, she's not that interesting on as far as character wise. And Zoe Stark. She was partnered up with Zoe Stark, right? Zoe Stark, watch out,
Yep.
you're next. um, as far as NXT goes, the only people I'm really familiar with is Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan, and Eddie Thorpe. Man, you know what? It sucks, but like just like the main roster, dude, NXT is kind of stacked right now. So I mean, I good luck to them. Maybe we'll see them back. Who knows?
Cuzzo?
For me, echo everything Iron Man said because Dakota Kai, that stuff caught me off guard. I that meant okay, damage control is out the window already. Like, cause they took them all apart, injuries, like Iron Man mentioned, and I thought Dakota Kai. All right, same thing with Braun. They used you for the promos because EO couldn't speak English well or whatever, right? So it sucks. Like, as soon as EO got her stride with the promos, I feel like they said, okay, Dakota, we might not need you no more, So it makes me sad not to think about, like, I'm not going to see Damage Control anytime soon. And then the Braun Strowman thing, yeah, because I was like, wait, hold on, he put on with Jacob? Like, you don't want to see more of that? Like, it was amazing to see who breaks who first. Like, so, but the rest, on the main roster, I don't know them too well, but on the NXT, Cora Jade, I just saw her recently, with, tag team partnered up with, what's her name? Roxy, her friend. And though Roxy left her, right? But every time, I don't know if they told her, hey, every time you go in there, you just do 2 moves and you tag her back in. I would have thought, Cora would have took advantage of that. But if that's all you're doing, we don't, that is just, for me, was like obvious. So go ahead and let her go. But the other ones with the Shotzi's and the Gigi Dolan, you're gonna leave Tatum by herself. That was a great dynamic. Like, why would you? What do you need? What? Why? Even if you don't show it on TV as much, you couldn't find a place for them. That they had a place already. They were just competing for what is it, triple threat tag or pin off to get to see who's gonna be facing for the title. So I'm like, come on, dude, like you could have kept that. That was a good freaky dynamic. That's why. The plot thickens with them too. Dolan and Tatum. And of course, man, Blackheart, dude. Like Blackheart's a G, dude. God, dude, she's awesome, dude. So the fact that you couldn't renew her and keep those together,
She was
it
the
really makes me
she's the one that
sad.
shaved her head, right?
I think
Yeah.
so.
She shaved it because I think it was regarding her sister. Her sister
Yeah,
was going
your
through
sister
a
had
cancer
cancer,
treatment.
right?
Yeah.
But they
So
used that
she
as part of a storyline, right? Like she was crazy and all that stuff.
right.
She
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we really never seen her after that, right? Like she
She
did
got
the
injured.
whole.
She
Oh,
got injured.
okay. Well, that makes sense.
So she was out for a while. Yeah. But I think that tends to be like the common factor for a lot of these people. Injuries have been a concern. Kind of starting at the top with Dakota Kai. She's had her fair share of injuries. I believe Gigi Dolan's also had injury history. Cora Jade's been like kind of like on and off TV. Granted, like her recent run has been a little bit more consistent with her staying healthy. But yeah, no, I do share the same sentiment with everyone. I think the biggest standout for me was probably Dakota Kai and Braun Strowman, just because we've kind of seen them more active than most on the roster, and at the same time, I'm also not surprised, just because like to what you said, Cuzzo, the whole Damage Control faction. As much as I love that faction, they seem to have kind of run its course, especially now that EO's kind of become the superstar that she has been as a solo single star. Granted, we don't know the return dates of Asuka and Kyrie specifically. So who's to say that those two, might end up going solo or having to do their own thing afterwards without the need of Dakota Kai services. Braun Strowman, yes, I would say his second run has been such a benefit to people like Bronson Reed, Jacob
Yes.
Fatu, just kind of like in that whole mid card level, but at the same time putting these guys over for them to be elevated. He was probably a big factor in that. So I'll give him his flowers there. It is unfortunate though, because when you kind of look at Braun Strowman's time in WWE prior to him coming back, it was kind of his peak, right? I don't think they had any intention of really putting him through the main event scene since returning. Outside of that, yeah, it's he's a little older. He's not the oldest, but he's a little bit older, and I think right now with the depth and the shift of what WWE is trying to do is really get younger, try to grow more homegrown talent, and really create new stars. So, that's kind of the trend right now. But there is TNA, there is AEW, there is New Japan Pro Wrestling. There are the indies, have probably been much more relevant than ever, due to the fact that wrestling is such a hot product right now. So I hope for the best for all of these people, specifically, the ones that have been just trying to make a name and break through for themselves, those on the main roster. So, best of luck to all of them. I think they're all talented in their own right. And, you know, I don't like to see people like lose their jobs. I've been in that boat. So, it's not the best feeling. And I think as fans, we also have to remember, right? Like they're all humans too, like they have lifestyles and they have responsibilities. At the end of the day, we just want to be optimistic and share that positive vibes out there for all of them. Otherwise, hope they all find the place and get back at it.